Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We are doing the study group for the healing the digestive, respiratory, and urinary tract. So let's go ahead and open it up to questions and shares. You can unmute yourself or type in. And if we have time left, we'll go through and we'll do a practice. So let's go ahead and fire away.
And you can unmute yourself, you can raise your hand, you can type in any questions or shares. How'd you do after the weekend? We've got a lot of shares and emails and stuff like that. So thank you guys. It was a
Yeah, we got a
good,
bunch of emails
good,
about this
good
class.
class, what you
Yeah.
guys said. So we're doing it again, not this one, but a different systems class in case you didn't see. So that'll be next month. And so we'll be able to do another little thing. I don't know. Maybe we do a practice first.
Okay. Let's do, at least we'll start with on page 8, we're going to do supporting kidney detox. So celery, myrrh, or parsley. Okay, so you have your oil. Begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your sex chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the sex chakra. You're still in the sex chakra. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Move your awareness to the kidneys. Your awareness is on the kidneys. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Mhm. Long, slow, deep breath. And then your awareness is on the Mingmen, which is your low back, the back side of the navel. And then just pause and release. Pause and let go. Begin inhaling. Your awareness is on the sex chakra. Where the sex organs are, you're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the Ming Men, the backside of the navel and the low back. Then your awareness is on the front solar plexus, below the ribs on the upper abdomen. And then the back heart, the area between the shoulder blades. Your awareness was on the brain. Long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness on the brain. Excuse me. Your awareness is on the crown. Just be still. I don't know. So in the class, did we do this like what, once or twice or
We did it twice.
twice?
Like cycles, you mean?
Yeah, cycles. Yeah. Okay, so you had the experience. Let's, one of the things that we've been doing is these little mashups, like where we take different classes and mash them up together. But let's do a mashup within the class. You know what I mean? Instead of doing all of a section, let's bounce around. Okay. So I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to do. So let's go up to the digestive system, application C, where we're doing detoxing the liver and reducing the toxic load. Your choices are bay laurel and carrot seed, coriander, Greenland moss, helichrysum, rosemary, verbena, and tarragon. The kit for purchase, you have intestinal detox and thyme. If you did the kit for purchase, let's have you use the intestinal detox. And again, all of these are good to take a few drops in water to deepen the effect. Taking them internally would probably be a little bit more potent, but doing the breathing pattern and internal makes them very potent. Grab your oil. And you're inhaling with your awareness on the back solar plexus, that mid back area, the middle of your back, below the shoulder blades. Nice little. And then the bottom of the tailbone, the basic chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then the throat. Your awareness is on the throat. Then your awareness is on the navel. Your awareness is on the navel. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then an inch and a half below your navel. Then just pause and be still. I think it's experiment time. I don't know about you, but I think it's time to experiment. So you're noticing how you feel right now. Let's have you reach for something like tarragon, marjoram, fennel, helichrysum, basil, anise. I'm just looking at some of the other things. Even rose, if you had rose. Sylvester pine, terebinth. Let's just see, those are all choices that we have here. Let's see what you got.
Well, thanks, Robert. Marjoram and basil are in your optional kit.
Mm-hmm. So whichever one you chose, let's work the bladder a little bit more, the urinary tract, but with these different options. So start inhaling, your awareness is on the sex chakra. Your awareness is on the sex chakra. Nice, long, slow, deep breath. You're still on the sex chakra. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Trying. Your awareness is on the kidneys. Then the low back area, the Ming Men, the backside of the navel. What is this from? Hmm. Then pause. Just pause and let go. Just pause. Do that one again. Awareness on the sixth chakra. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths with the same oil. Just pause and let go. Just pause and let go. To the kidneys. Your awareness is on the kidneys. And then just pause and let go. And then the Mingmen, the backside of the navel. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then just pause. Notice how you feel. Your body, your emotions, your thoughts. Let's go ahead and share experiences. Well, we're going to do a little bit more, but let's go ahead and talk and share for a bit. Unmute yourself or type in.
Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Hey, hey.
Well, I'm calmer than when we started. My right shoulder was pretty much pinned to my right ear when we started, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I used basil and marjoram, but really
Oh, good.
needed to move a lot to marjoram for some
Yeah.
reason. But I
Right.
kind of had a little bit of both of them internally as well. But thank you. I've really needed this all day. Thank you.
Oh, good. And so your body feels better, but also like emotionally, mentally, you feel a little better.
I feel more. It's good that you asked me that. Yeah, I actually it's still working. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's pulling, lulling me in. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, we always think of our emotions as just being our emotions, but like our body contributes a lot to the emotions. And as much as we try to deal with the emotions and things, it's really the body that's like in a state, like an agitated state. And so when you go through and you kind of start addressing some of that, if you think about like, that's why we were dwelling a little bit on the urinary tract is, it opens up the low back, it opens up the hips, it calms down instinctive responses, it relaxes the psoas. Uh, And I suspect that certain kinds of constipation actually are
Mm.
impacted by this because of you're loosening up that lower part of your abdominal cavity. Like it's just all the way around getting relaxed. And so part of what happens too when those areas get really wound up is the kundalini energy moving up gets diminished. And so our energy centers don't function quite like they should. So, like on so many levels, these different areas can impact function in ways that the mind wouldn't necessarily go, oh, that's because of this. But when you start looking at it, um, it can be an issue. A lot of kind of stress can happen in the kidneys, and it will definitely affect your emotions and thought processes. I always find when I work the kidneys and really deepen the purification on the kidneys, my mind is sharper. You know how like when somebody goes, hey, what are you going to do next week on Tuesday? And you kind of are there and you're like, okay, Tuesday next week. And then you answer, you could almost like say there's like a delayed response or delayed like processing of the information, because it's not even like, oh, I can't remember. It almost like takes like a 3 or 4 count or a 5 count before you go, Tuesday next week. Okay. But you had like this little like pause that was just like, a brain fart or something. You know what I mean? And that's the kidneys. That that
Wow.
that is the byproduct of the kidneys. And so when you do this stuff where, I mean, that was the whole weekend is we weren't really going after symptoms the way we think of symptoms like in the West. We were just looking at body systems and how they were functioning. And so when you start targeting these areas and making them work better, the byproduct also is your emotions feel better and the mind works better. And in the case of like the urinary tract, part of what happens is the mind gets sharper. Like bottom line, it just gets sharper. Like so you'll notice that like you're a little bit more insightful, you have a little bit more energy to think, and you're thinking quicker, you know, like because we're doing this class on the weekend and coming up with doing it for the power of realization. There's a much deeper practice associated in that class. And so, I've been kind of playing with it. And today I was noticing that my mind was sharper when I was thinking of things. And, I wasn't thinking that like before I was doing bad, but like after today, I was like, ugh, where's my head been at the last few weeks? Like, and I would be in the middle of something and I remembered, oh, I didn't do da 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 da. Like I forgot a step of something that I had done like 20 minutes ago. And I was like, I didn't do that one piece. I got distracted and I went back and took care of it. And normally it probably would have never gotten caught, or I would have dealt with it when somebody brought it to my attention. And like after I figured that out and I took care of it, I was like, that was like young Greg. That's not like Greg those last couple of years or 10 years or whatever. That was young Greg right there. And this idea of working some of these areas, yes, we're trying to reduce symptoms and yes, we're trying to feel better, but also at the same time, we're just trying to make our body function better, our emotions function better, and our mind to work better. And
Yes, please.
it-
Yes,
it's
please.
yeah, it's amazing how some of these things just start to click, especially when we've been piling on all these other different classes because the classes are like they're a class, they're a therapy session, they're a spiritual practice, they're a little bit of a bunch of things. But they are like part therapy and um there's been a lot of good unwinding in some of these things. And as it gets deeper, like I have flashes of the way I was in my youth. Like it's really kind of amazing.
It's encouraging.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want to get in line when you get this new blend made. And it's really exciting to hear where you're going with all this.
Oh, thank you. You're
And
so
even as you've been talking, my neck is loosening up, but my jaw a little
yeah.
bit too. It's starting to loosen up
So
a bit.
I mean that's the thing that like again headache free today. So like I was saying over the weekend, we have a busy schedule and sometimes our days are a little long and sometimes we're doing things past the point of like fatigue where you're like, I should call it a day, but I'm gonna squeeze out another hour or something. And so when we do that, one of the things that happens to Samantha, not all the time, but sometimes, is she'll start to get a little bit of a headache. Like she has this injury in her head and neck that she had, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, maybe. And so since then, she, when she's not feeling good, she'll start to get this headache. And she's in the middle of getting these headaches again. And, we treat them and they get better. But, even when we treat them, it's like they'll diminish, but there's still like a little bit of a vague reminder for a few hours. And we started doing this process, and man, headache went away like that. And we're still pushing and like no headache. And I'd say, like not that you were fuzzy before, but her, like me, it's like her mind was clearer and we were really rocking it today in the office. And I was just like, man, these practices are amazing. Like I'm the one presenting them and I'm still like, I'm blown away. I was like, these things are amazing, you know.
So work the kidneys, right?
Yeah, work the kidneys, you're working, when you work the sex chakra, you're working the bladder as well. but a lot of the issue is in the kidneys and the bladder. And then Ming Men just kind of helps clean that up and also hits the kidneys as well. But I was noticing even like doing that, I have a lot of like when I'm blending and bottling, I have a lot of up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, because I'm surrounded by all these like shelves. And when things are on the bottom or way at the top, it's like, ugh, okay, I gotta get out of the chair. And today I was popping up and like I'm usually a little bit more dependent on the chair, because I can slide on the rollers and everything. And I caught myself today just getting up and walking out of the chair. I haven't done that for like 10 years. Like it might even be longer. Like I've always kind of like scooted around on the chair and then got up when I had to. And today, middle shelf, getting up, just walking over and grabbing it. And it's because I'm always nursing that back injury. And even though I'm pain free, it's still, it wasn't as strong and stable as when I was young. And I gotta say, my back is feeling more stable than it's been. I can't even remember when. Like it's probably a good 25 years.
We definitely want to get in your wake, Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I know I'm in the right place.
Well,
Thank you.
that's the thing in that power of realization class. It's about the brain and it's about realizing and mystical practices, but we do it by healing thing in each system of the body. And so even in that class is like a deeper dive on the urinary tract, a deeper dive on the cardiac, your cardiovascular system, on the digestive system. And I always think like, oh, that class was my favorite. This one might be my favorite. Like, I don't know. I really like the life alter class. I like the resonance class too, but that life alter class was really like something for me. But this one might be my new favorite. I mean, if it's making me behave like young Greg, without all the dumb decisions, you know what I mean? Oh Lordy, hopefully it
The
doesn't
fountain,
make me.
you're finding the fountain of youth.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, there you go. Minus
thank
the
you.
dumb decisions of youth, you know what I mean?
There you go. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
yes.
And then go ahead, Robert, then Lolly.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Greg. Two things about
Mhm.
the class and tonight. Uh, my body just felt so much better after the class this weekend. It was phenomenal. And
Good.
there were some interesting changes on the body. One way of taking them is that they're very negative, but I looked at them in the sense, oh my God, this is amazing. It's moving stuff that hasn't moved in decades.
Oh, like give me an idea. Like what's going on?
Uh, I don't really want to go into it
Oh,
publicly, but let's
gotcha,
just
gotcha,
say
gotcha.
really positive, really good in the end. My body feels much better. I'll say my energy levels are more consistent. And then tonight, doing the protocol, the mashup protocol,
Uh-huh.
uh, what the thing that when you asked what it felt like, just felt clarity, like you said,
Yeah,
sharpness.
yeah.
Yeah, there was this
Sharpness of the
clarity.
mind.
And I don't know what or where it came from. Well,
Yeah,
I've had it before. It's back. So that youth,
yeah,
you know, uh, so that's really neat. And I saw it in a matter of like a minute. It just happened as something
yeah,
else was going on. So thank you very much for all that. It was a wonderful
yeah.
class, and I love this, especially since
So
almost
I would
every
say
oil in.
like this class is kind of like a super, 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 super light version of the power of realization. Like it's they'll mash up later, but I that clarity of mind, because I had been doing pieces of that class at a time, but now that I'm putting them all together, it's like I knew that there would be clarity of thought, but I didn't realize how much was there or how much I had, I'm having flashes of when I was younger. Like it's really kind of amazing.
The other thing that boggles my mind is looking at the kit and realizing almost all the oils are single oils.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
talking, amazing blends. We're just talking
Yeah.
everyday nature doing this for us.
Yeah. And just using them in very specific ways. And yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And it's also obvious that all the other classes that I've loved and that I've experienced led to this being as
Yeah.
effective as it is. It's
Yeah.
not totally standalone, but
Right. 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 Yeah.
so I appreciate all of that and thank you very much
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. I'm glad you're having a good experience.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
And go ahead, Lolly, and we have some shares as well.
Hey, Lolly.
Hey. So yeah, that was really good. I know. I don't even understand where my mind went in each
Mhm.
one of these, I think, especially the last one. And then all of a sudden I kind of come back and I'm like, wait, which chakra? What are we doing? Like that was like in each one of these, I was like,
Right.
wait, did we move on? And it's really interesting that it happened so fast. And I kept like dropping the bottles. Like I did tarragon on the first one, and then I did I did parsley, tarragon, and then I did actually the Sylvester pine.
Uh-huh.
So that was really cool. Overall, I'm in a lot of pain today. I mentioned something in my eye yesterday, so I woke up with it a little bit worse. So I've been experiencing a lot of pain and a lot of stress today, and I was very agitated. I feel more relaxed right now.
Oh,
Pain is
good.
the same, but I
Good,
feel more
good.
relaxed. In the last part also what came up is my body actually like pins and needles I felt on the when we did the last one. So I don't
Like
know if
while you were doing it?
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know if it's moved something there and yeah, and now I don't feel it because it's comes and goes. But yeah, as I was doing the practice.
So when we were down on the urinary track.
When we did the last part, yeah.
Yeah. What oil did you use?
For the last one, I actually did Sylvester pine. Because I'd never actually worked with that I sometimes can put it on my wrist, but I was like, let's see what it does.
Mm-hmm. God, that almost sounds like a paradoxical response.
Because I mean,
Try like maybe try doing it with like maybe tarragon,
okay.
like tarragon and marjoram.
Okay. And because I did tarragon for the first one, I was like, let's experiment and see. And I already took today like a bunch of things to just relax the body.
Mhm.
Some on tarragon and myrrh and galbanum and all the pain.
But do it on that
to
bottom
do it
area.
on the
Because,
to do it on
because
the
that sounds like a paradoxical response, which means it's like opposite of what would normally happen. And so that usually means like a lot of stress or a lot of like so much stress that it's doing something to the nerves. And so tarragon and marjoram would be gentle. The thing with Sylvester pine is it is good for like fatigue and it's good for fortifying the adrenals and it does reduce inflammation in some of the nerves and everything. But that I mean, I don't think it was a bad choice, but that you had I'm not even sure that it's paradoxical, but it sounds paradoxical. And so something's up there. And
and
so
I'm
like soothe it more with like the tarragon or even rose. I would even try rose. Like rose, tarragon, marjoram, like stick in that arena.
yeah. And I mean, again, the pins and needles is something that I'm experiencing often on and on, but it felt a little bit different right now. So okay, yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, because like treating that should have the opposite. It would reduce pins and needles, like in this.
Exactly. And that's even what I mentioned yesterday with the
Yeah.
other system, which is the
Yeah.
lymphatic system, that when I worked on it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden I get
Yeah. See, all that
that.
sounds paradoxical. Like it's
And
so start with the tarragon. Tarragon
okay.
or rose or yeah, marjoram. Yeah.
Okay, and then as far as really other things except clearing the mind, I mean, realistically, because it's relaxing the body, then it could potentially help with other
Mhm.
pains and issues and such,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Okay. But yeah, I'm just feeling uncomfortable a little bit, but overall my mind is so much clearer and I feel more relaxed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it could be an old trauma coming out, like, or an old, something. I mean, hard to say,
Yeah.
but there's something's up, something's going on,
Hmm.
and it's not just like, oh, the oil doesn't agree with me, or it's
No.
like something shifting in your body.
And
Yeah.
I see that even with all the things that I've been experiencing in my body, all those reactions, things, the eye situation, and I'm like, what? Something is off that needs to be okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll try and work with this.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay, thanks.
You're so.
And made a couple shares as well. I think we have a time for it.
Yeah. Well,
I woke with a stress headache and continued off and on all day. With this, I was teary and felt tension release in liver area and back shoulders and neck. My stress was heavy yesterday as I was part of a jury pool in a child trafficking case.
I was just gonna say that, like, it looks like sadness or grief. So I'd even say maybe going to the first protocol where it's the respiratory system, doing some work there. That would help with like the lungs and the grief and things like that. Yeah. Boy, that sounds like a pretty intense court case if you're involved with
Yeah,
that.
they said so glad I was not chosen
Oh,
for the
yeah.
jury,
Yeah.
but still.
But still, sometimes you get a glimpse of darker things that happen, and it can be very upsetting and agitating, you know. Yeah.
And then I just wanted to share that working with the kidneys, the sex chakra, and the Ming Mang with 3 oils suggested yesterday, the spasms and twitches stopped within a half hour.
Oh, tremendous. Yeah, tremendous. Good for you.
I still have some tightness in the calves, but nowhere near as bad as it was
Yeah.
yesterday.
And keep working it because it will keep getting better and better. Yeah. Keep working it.
Yeah, they said so grateful. Another person said, my jaw is really letting go. We'll work with that area and the right neck.
Oh, good. Boy, that's a good one.
And I just want to affirm what Greg said earlier about himself. So he was working today, and normally I can't interrupt him because he's so focused. And even his mind was able to like answer my questions and keep working. I've never seen it before.
Oh, see, I didn't even realize.
Yeah. So that
Really?
was, I was like, wow. It was really, yeah,
Huh.
it was pretty cool.
Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize. Anyway.
So in case you didn't believe him, just kidding.
Right. Yeah. Like usually I'm a boy. I can only do one thing at a time. If I'm doing something and you ask me a question, I either have to stop what I'm doing or I don't hear you. So I guess that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I think that kind of.
yeah. So that's good. I hope you enjoyed, and we're going to do another version of this in March where we do the immune system, the cardiovascular system, and the endocrine system. But in the same format as we did this last weekend. It'll be a free class that we do in March. So, it will be a continuation of this through some of the other body systems. So, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna jump over to the tantric practice with the tantric tools, and hopefully we see you on the weekend or next week. Take care.